Videotapes. We've made over 1 million videos now in 6 languages. They're not copyrighted. They're not copyrighted.
Despite that obvious truth, evolutionists continue to build their supposedly scientific case on a foundation that virtually rules out everything that follows after it.
Evolution teaches that energy, such as lightning or heat, plus matter, can occasionally create new life. Yet our entire food industry rests on the fact that this can never happen. If we examine a jar of peanut butter, it contains matter and is exposed to light and heat. But we never find new life inside unless an outside life contaminates it.
If the theory of evolution was viable, then I should, occasionally, by subjecting this to energy, end up having new life. Now, we go down to the store, and if I open this jar of peanut butter, maybe not often, but on some occasion, I should find new life inside. And so, when we open the jar of peanut butter, we look in there, there's no new life. And aren't you glad, okay? Now, you may smile at this, but hopefully you'll never forget it, because you and I conduct, collectively, over 1 billion experiments every year, and we've done that for virtually 100 years. And we never encounter new life. In fact, the entire food industry of the world depends on the fact that evolution doesn't happen.
Condensing the information, UFO 666. There's a great book by Chuck Missler again called Alien Encounters, if you want to read his theory on UFOs. And he's one of the smartest guys I know. He's one of the smartest guys I know. Condensing the information, UFO 666. There's a great book by Chuck Missler again called Alien Encounters, if you want to read his theory on UFOs. And he's one of the smartest guys I know. I asked Chuck Missler a few months ago when I was preaching out there at a conference with him. I said, Dr. Missler, what really happened at Roswell, New Mexico? What is the truth about this? You know, the UFO crash site. He said, Brother Hovind, I don't know for sure, and nobody who knows is talking, but exactly 9 months later, Al Gore was born. So, what happened? I don't know, that'll preach, but Stan Deo has a good book. He lives in Colorado Springs. Stan Deo's book about the cosmic conspiracy is real good on the topic. He says it's using a new, a little understood form of propulsion called electrogravitic propulsion. And I mentioned this in a seminar years ago, and a guy came to me and he said, Brother Hovind, I work for the government, and how do you know about electrogravitic propulsion? That's top secret. I said, I read a book about it. I'm sorry, you know. That's the book if you want to read it. Still available from millennium-arc.net. So, round airplanes have been made for years. This is the XF-5U, which flew very well, but during World War II at the end. But they invented jet engines, and they kind of became obsolete. Here's the A-15. The Russians had a similar one called the A-16, a round airplane, a Frisbee, okay? The V-173 flew just fine. So there are several theories about UFOs. Let me just give them to you. Since I don't know, I'll tell you what you can study for yourself. One theory says they're all misidentified. Somebody saw a weather balloon, swamp gas, a mirage, too much vodka, whatever, okay? Second theory says they're top secret or government or private experiments. The third theory says they're satanic or demonic. See, God is all places. Satan can only be one place. So he flies a UFO, according to that third theory. Okay, he has to be able to get around quickly. If they travel with electrogravitic propulsion, then there would be no G-force, because every molecule is being drawn electrically. So the craft could go from 0 to 5,000 and stop on a dime, and the people inside would not be bouncing around. No G-force. People describe the UFOs as, you know, up, down, right, left, zip, 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 you know, things that would kill a person inside a regular plane. You know, pilots black out with too much G-force. The fourth theory says they're alien life from other planets. Now, the Bible says Eve's the mother of all living, so I have a hard time believing there's life on other planets. I think there's angels out there, you know, seraphim, cherubim, if you mean life outside of Earth, and that I would agree with. But as far as other, you know, living beings outside of that, I don't believe there's any life anywhere else. Next question. How long were they in the Garden of Eden before they sinned? The Bible says Adam was 130 when a son was born. Before that, Cain and Abel were born, but the dates aren't given because they're not in the line to Jesus Christ. So I think they could have been in the garden 100 years. I don't know, but I... And kept on researching. I'm not against NASA. I'm against using federal funding to try to prove evolution. I'm not against going to the moon or going to Mars. I'm not against any of that stuff. But I think that there may be another ulterior motive here. Maybe the purpose of the space program is to prepare the world for Big Brother, for the New World Order. Maybe that's the real purpose. And I think everybody should be fully informed of what's going on with NASA. I doubt there's life on other planets. First place, there's no proof there is. Okay, so if somebody wants to argue there is, they're arguing from the negative, which is a poor position to be in. Secondly, the Bible says Eve is the mother of all living. I have a hard time getting around that verse. I mean, the Bible says she's the mother of all living. So I don't think there's life on any other planets. Next question. What about theistic evolution? Couldn't God use evolution to get us here? Well, there are all kinds of people who claim to be theistic evolutionists. Okay? We have an entire debate for 5 hours with me against Hugh Ross, and he would not call himself a theistic evolutionist. He says, I do not believe in evolution, but he does believe an awful lot of things like the evolutionists believe, like the earth is billions of years